Real men, real work. Join us for the real conversations. What's going on, guys? Zach here from Landscaping Unlimited. Listen, if you're on YouTube, the video that you just saw, that was our Super Bowl ad, and so congratulations on seeing it again. If you are listening on the podcast, well then what you just heard, that was the audio from our Super Bowl ad. And now before I jump into what we're doing next, what we're going to be talking about here on this episode of the Landscaping Podcast, I want to dive into our other ad that we ran. That's right, our Olympic ad. And so we're going to play that right now.
If you don't do well in school, you'll be digging ditches. That's the lie you were told, and it trained people to disrespect the tradesmen who make their homes, towns, and lives function. Landscaping isn't a fallback plan. It's a skill. It's problem solving. It's taking pride in honest work. We turn raw ground into places families live and create their memories in. The green industry is growing, and the opportunities are real. Are you ready to learn about this industry and how to grow in it? Subscribe to the Landscaping Podcast, where real men doing real work have real conversations.
So there you've seen both the advertisements that we ran with WITN. Big shout out to JJ Rust. He was sort of our agent and liaison to helping us get these things knocked out, get them put out there. It was awesome to see our brand, to see our men, and to see our mission and message out there for the world to hear. Because what we're doing here, it's not a secret. We want everybody to be well versed in what it is that we're talking about, what it is we stand for, and why we're doing what it is we're doing. And so again, if you're on YouTube, you got to see both those videos just now. If you're on podcast, well, I hope you enjoyed the audio. Not quite as cool, but you did get to hear the message. And that's the important part here. You see, what we're doing with Landscaping Unlimited and the Landscaping Podcast in particular to this episode is we are sharing the message as to who it is that we are, what it is we're doing, and we're not just showcasing our services, but we're letting you see the men that are doing the work. And that's an important part of this, because oftentimes when you're looking at, well, there's 1,000 different opportunities for you to go out and just choose a landscaper. So why this landscaper? What makes them different? Well, we want our message to be heard. And so that's a part of it. The other part is the green industry. Shay's father said that if you believe in this industry and you want it to grow, you've got to be invested into it. And that's why you get the licenses. That's why you get the certifications. And so in my mind, the way that works with my background is, one, you work extremely hard at it. You take pride in it. You know, you're proud to say, I'm a landscaper, I'm a hardscaper. You don't say it with this air of like, I sit on a mower or I just do this. Like, this is a career. It's a viable career. It has you outside working with your hands every day. I take immense pride in that. And so when I go out there and I talk about it and I put it onto a Super Bowl ad or an Olympic ad, it's me taking pride in what it is that we're doing, instead of just looking at landscapers as the guys who had a fallback plan because they couldn't do a real job. And in all reality, when you look at like, well, what is a real job? A real job provides a service to a community. A real job creates income for your family. And landscaping does all of that. And so we're putting it out there, letting you see what it is we're doing, who it is that's doing it. And most importantly, when it comes down to the green industry, we're having the conversation to start raising awareness to the fact that it's not a fallback plan, that there is great money to be made in here. There is great satisfaction to be had from this career. And so for me looking at this, for us to go into the biggest sporting event in the country, which is the Super Bowl, I mean, who's not watching it? And here we are seeing our ad for a small town in Eastern North Carolina being slapped onto that stage. It's an amazing thing to see play out, and to go out there and to showcase our workers. One of them is a collegiate football player. We've got athletes on our team. We're always talking about sports. We're going out, we're competing in the world, and to see all of that showcased on that stage, I was super proud. Then it goes to the Olympics, which again, the highest stage, like who is not watching the Olympics? So everybody's out there watching this, and our message is going on, talking about the green industry, talking about the careers, talking about you going out there and building a name for yourself by shaping the earth and making the earth your canvas of the art that you're bringing together to solve people's problems. And that's what we do here at Landscaping Unlimited. We're going out and we're trying to solve problems. And so when it comes to these ads and putting our message out in the world, I want it to be crystal clear. The whole point of this is for us to have that conversation. It's for us to go out and start talking about these things, because it's incredibly important that what it is you're choosing to do with your life, you have to go out and make sure that that thing is bringing satisfaction to your life. I hate when I hear people say, well, I hate my job, but they're there for 20 years. Like, why would you do something that doesn't bring you immense satisfaction to your soul, to your life, to your family, put you in a good mood? You know, when I leave work to go home, it's like a shifting of gears. It's not like I've got to change who I am. I've got to like switch modes from like a miserable human being and then all of a sudden try to pick myself up for my family. It's like, cool, I worked my job, I enjoyed what I did, and now I get to go with the people I love and enjoy their company. And then I wake up and I do it again. And so it's not wearing me down. If anything, it's building me up. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for the podcast, to start getting the conversation floating around. I want people to start asking those questions. Why are you doing what you do? You know, it's not just about cutting the lawns and things of that nature. Like we've already surpassed that. We've gone well beyond like just cutting lawns. We do cut lawns. We cut them very well, but we do far more. And the people that do it, they don't just jump on a mower and go. There's a strategy here. Like there is actually thought being put into all of this. And if you watched our last episode where we were talking about pre-emergent and post-emergent, we are taking questions from those who are listening to this podcast. We're integrating into what we're doing because this entire thing is about people. The entire Super Bowl ad, the entire Olympic ad, what we're doing right now in this conversation that we're having in this moment that you're listening to or watching. This is about people. It's about connection. It's about growth. It's about letting you know that there's nothing wrong with you for wanting to know more about the world, more about life, and more about who it is that you are and what it is that you're doing. Because none of us should be floating through here just aimlessly. We should be out there living our best lives. And to live your best life as an American with all the freedoms that you have, you've got to talk about what does that look like? What does right look like? If we're going to treat these subjects like they're taboo, similar to when you're growing up and kids are told, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, don't talk about money, I feel like those are very important parts of our lives that we should be talking about. And now, when it comes to kids, obviously age appropriate, but I mean, at 16 and up, it's time to have those conversations. And unfortunately, people are taught so early in life not to talk about those things that as adults, they still don't talk about them. And yet here we are, and speaking with Shay, like there is zero reservation. We were both completely aligned with this. We are going to say our message. We're going to speak our truth, and we're going to put it on TV for everyone to hear. And if you have a problem with that, you know exactly where to find us to have that conversation. We welcome it because we are asking those questions. Why are we doing what we're doing? What do we stand for as a business? Where is it that we're looking to go? What does this industry look like in the future, and how can we help build it and bring it there? Who needs to be informed on what's going on for them to know exactly what they can expect, not just from the green industry, but like when they're going out into their yard or their life, how can they go and make themselves better? Because the lessons that we're sharing here, they're not just for landscapers and hardscapers. Like these are life lessons. Everything we're talking about, you can take and you can apply to the situation that you're living in. You've just got to literally take it and go apply it. So if you're just listening to the podcast, but you're not putting it into motion, like I don't know what to tell you except you're a well-listened individual, but nothing's going to change. Cool. You heard something and you're motivated, but what does that do? Zero. It's like the person who reads a book 1,000 times about how to throw the fastball, but they never step on the mound. Like you're not going to throw the fastball until you pick the ball up and you throw it. You're not going to be able to change your life until you're listening to this, and then you take some of the lessons, you apply it to your business, you apply it to your family, you apply it to yourself, or you apply it to your life. If you're not going to put those things in, like the application out there, you're not going to get the feedback that comes with it. And so that's an important part of this entire thing that we're doing. From the ads that are on Super Bowls and the ads that are on the Olympics to the simple conversations that we have in the day-to-day where we're walking around and bumping into people. Just the other day, I was at a basketball game, and one of the cheerleaders, my wife is the cheer coach, one of the cheerleaders' fathers, who's also a landscaper, we ran into each other, and he's like, hey man, I heard that podcast that you had on shifting gears when you're leaving from work to home and going from worker you to father and husband you. And he said that really impacted me because I hadn't really thought about it like that, but I realized that's something that I need to do. And I was like, dude, like me too. The lessons that I'm sharing are things that I've had to go through myself. And so we had a great conversation on fatherhood and shifting gears as very high performing, motivated men who want nothing more than we could sit and work all day 24/7 and still feel like we did not do enough. I don't know what that is, but that is something that is inside certain men's minds. And this is one of those individuals. He's like, dude, I'm so happy building things and creating and growing and grinding. But I understand that I also have to make time for me. I've got to make time for my loved ones. And so sometimes that shift is difficult because you're looking at the empire and you know, if I can build this and get this here, well, then all the things that I want financially, personally, all the satisfaction that comes with it, the legacy left for children, that's going to follow. What we also have to keep in mind, and this is difficult, is that in the process of building that empire, in the process of creating that legacy, we have to do it, side by side with our loved ones. They aren't the point of our lives, but they are a major part of our lives. And that distinction there is your job is not the point of your life. Your family is not the point of your life. They are parts of the life that you have been cultivating, up to this point, for you to go out and just integrate it all together to where the work that you do, it feeds into the family, and the family feeds into your work. And all this feeds to you having a full cup, so you can go day after day after day without breaking down with too much stress. You have anxiety, you're depressed, you don't see the point of it all. When you slow things down and you understand that you're integrated all together, then you'll have the confidence to stand on 2 feet and say, this is who I am. I've got my loved ones taken care of. I've got my profession, the direction I'm looking to go, and I'm going to win. And again, that's why I wanted to share the ads, because now that they've run on TV, I wanted to put them back out there. So we're going to drop the videos solo on YouTube, and we're going to put them onto our socials. But I dropped this quick kind of PSA podcast with those included because I wanted you to see, like, we stood on our 2 feet in front of everyone and we threw our ads on that TV. And it wasn't like, hey, come hire us because we're the best. It was a direct challenge to everything. It's like, hey, we are real men doing real work and having real conversations in the one. And then in the other, you've got Shay talking about the green industry growing, about people calling landscaping a fallback plan and not a career, about how this is the exact profession where you can go out and find the most satisfaction in the world and you control your fate. All these things are yours to choose and to go with and to do in your own way. But for us, we did it in a very public manner because we believe in what it is we're doing and we stand for it. And so if you have any questions on that, if you want to continue this conversation, I'm very happy to do so. But what I want more than anything is for you to understand that we're going into the 50s. You know, we're about to hit our 50 episode milestone. And going forward, I just want you to take these things and apply them. Like, don't just listen to past time in your commute or your workout or whenever you're listening to us. Make sure you're actually working on using these things yourself, because then you can give us feedback. Then you can talk to us about what you did and what the change was. And then we can talk to you and we can learn and swap notes from one another to help each other win. But nothing changes if you don't do anything. And so let's get out there. Let's do some things. This has been another episode of the Landscaping Podcast. I appreciate you tuning in.